Hello, beautiful. This is the second video in my iPad series on how to use GoodNotes and write in a digital book or workbook. So we're going to go ahead at this point and open GoodNotes back up. My book is already here. You're going to go to the upper left corner in the navy blue bar and click the 4 white squares. This is going to show you every page that is in this book. So I'm going to go down to the page that I want to work on. And I'm going to work in this page right here. So you can use a pencil, you can use a brush pen, you can use an eraser, a highlighter. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So if you're brand new to GoodNotes, this is going to be the perfect tutorial for you. Over here, you're going to have your pen. You have a fountain pen, a ballpoint pen, and a brush pen. I like the ballpoint pen. I'm not real picky about the pen settings. I do like to be able to change the color. So you're going to go over here to these circles and you click and you'll get your choices. And so I'm going to use this pink color. You can change the line width. So I've got the thin line, the middle line, and the thick line. Then you can, let's try the brush pen. I'll show you. I'm not real good at the brush pen with this, but we'll go ahead and try it. So I've got the really thick line and I'm going to just write the word observation since I've got it right ahead of me there. And that is way too thick of a line, so hold on. So you're going to be very light fingered with this. Don't use much pressure. And you're going to, I'm not trying to make it look just like it, however, I'm trying to make it look a little like it so you can see what I'm doing. Good enough, good enough. Not very good, but good enough. See how thick I can make it if I push hard, if I push lighter. Even though I'm using this middle line here, I can still do it super light or super thick because it's a brush pen. So the next thing you can do is go to the eraser. That's the second option over here on the white GoodNotes bar. You can choose the size of your eraser. I'm going to choose this big one because I'm just going to get rid of that all at once. Now I'm going to go back to my pen, okay? And I'm going to show you how to use the highlighter. So let's go ahead and write something else here. Whoops, that's too thick. We are going to just write create the scene. So this is a workbook, a Bible study workbook. If you're watching this series and you're not going to be using this for Bible study, that's totally okay. This will still be a beneficial video to you. So I have handwritten create the scene. Now I'm going to go to the highlighter and you once again can pull down the color menu and choose a highlighter that you want to use. You can choose the thickness of the highlighter. I'm going to make it pretty big and we'll just test it out and see what happens. Then you put your eye pencil on the screen and drag it over and it is going to highlight that word for you. Let's say that I want to write around the observation notes where it says this on the page. I'm going to choose a color and I'm going to use the fine tip of the pen and I'm just going to gently draw directly around this. Just like so. And then there it is. And see, you can kind of decorate. You can push a little bit harder there and do that. Lots of different ways that you could make your notes fun. I want to get rid of where I wrote create the scene. So I'm going to choose the eraser. And I've got the really thick eraser and I don't want that one. So I'm going to choose the medium eraser and I'm going to very gently roll my Apple Pencil right along that. Okay, isn't that cool? So you know how to use the pen, you know how to use the eraser, and you know how to use the highlighter. The next thing is a shape. So I'm not exactly the best at the shape thing, but let's try it. I'm going to draw a square. And see, it automatically snapped it into a square. So now I can choose a different color. So let's choose a circle. and it's going to snap it into a circle. Isn't that cool? Now, if I want to change the size of this, I just tap the square and drag the blue corners, okay? So let's say I want to do that. Now I'm going to tap the circle and drag the blue corners, okay? Now I'm going to take notes right in this square. So I'm going to go back to my pen. I'm going to choose black so it shows up, and I'm going to write my notes. So we're just going to pretend like I'm writing hello, beautiful. We're not going to pretend like I'm writing it. I really am going to write it. So there it is, hello, beautiful. If you messed up on one letter, you could grab your tiny eraser, so use the very fine tip of your eraser and erase the one letter. I want to erase this whole word beautiful, so I'm going to do that. And now look at what it did. It erased the color inside of my square, which is really interesting. I've never had that happen. Very weird, very weird. Okay, we're going to go back and write beautiful. I don't know how to get the color back in the square. I don't use the squares, to tell you the truth, in the circles, but I just wanted to show you how you could. So if I wanted the color back into the square and I didn't know how to do it, I would go to the navy blue bar, upper right corner, and click the back arrow, and I would keep clicking that until the color appeared and until all the writing went away so I could start fresh. There it is. Now I could go ahead and write. The next thing you can use is the lasso tool. So you're going to click this little jaggedy line here, and you are going to go around with your pencil what it is that you want to relocate, okay? So we're going to go all around this observation notes. Now when you lift up your pencil and you've got this tool, these little lines around it, you're going to click anywhere in that and it's going to move it. Now, the reason why it didn't move the words observation notes is because I did not write that there. That's part of the book. I can't move part of the book, okay? However, do you want to see something cool that I can do? I can go to my pen, to my fine tip. I'm going to zoom in, okay? So you pinch your iPad screen with your thumb and one of your fingers, and you zoom in, and then I'm going to just write right over this word. And I'm not using the brush pen here. I'm just changing my thickness by how much pressure I'm putting on my pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and trace over this. I'll show you a fun little trick too. We're going to trace over it. I'm getting a little sloppy here, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to get my lasso tool again, and I'm going to lasso around the whole thing. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to close. I'm going to tap where I lassoed, and I'm going to move this. So I can move this here. I traced over it, and that's what it looks like. Now, let's say I want to get rid of this where it says observation notes. Let's say I want that to go away. Well, I can't erase it, I can't move it, but I can cover it up. So what I do here is I grab a white pen, I put it on the thickest line, and I go ahead and cover over this with white. Now it will make my gray dots disappear, my dot grid paper, but look at that, pretty cool. You could probably go in with some gray. Let's go ahead and make some gray dots back, okay? So I'm gonna choose the fine tip, and I'm going to, oh, that is fancy. Whoop, if I could push even, it would help. Nikki doesn't know how to push even. But you get the point. You can go ahead and draw the squares back in so that you have your grid dot. Now, obviously that's not too beautiful and you don't want it to look like that. Okay, do you see what I did? I erased and it erased my white too. So you can't erase layers, okay? The next tool you're going to use is the little picture here, okay? And the way that you do this, I'm gonna do in another video. It's a longer process and I don't wanna get into it in this video. So in the next video in this series, I will show you how to upload a photo to your iPad so that you can download it into GoodNotes and use it in your workbook. I will see you in the next video. Bye.